it wasn't hard to tell.
Hello, Springfield music fans. I'm Kurtzender, and we are here today at the studio with Lou Whitney.
That's me.
The reason we came by today is because in the Springfield music scene, you just have a ton of respect and clout, and I'm here to completely take all that away from you and just put you on the ground level. You're the first kind of musician slash producer, engineer, stuff that... And
AARP member.
Yeah. That as well, but you know, we'll take the discount. Well, we're in the studio now, and this is kind of what it looks like. Why do we have PV shit over here? The bar band in the past, it seemed to me that it was the older crowd and the religious crowd that's in town that really said, we don't want people that are underage to be in a bar drinking. What that did, in effect, was take away a lot of younger crowd. How does a band, you know, be somewhat successful and garner audience in spite of the bar band and things like that?
It's tougher now than it ever has been. You know, I remember the Vietnam War. During that time, they lowered the drinking age around the country from 21 to 18.
Oh.
Business went up like that the minute they did that. I mean, the minute they did that. That is an absolute fact that I can attest to, that if 18s were allowed to drink, that business would be booming for bars.
Lou Whitney does not condone underage drinking, unless you are a young blonde female and don't mind H-spots or excessive back hair.
You know, a lot of people want to do home recordings now. What's their incentive to come to a studio like this, you know, in a city of Springfield its size?
The things that studios might offer is that, like in my joint, I can record an entire band. You all set up just like you practice, just like you rehearse. Get your sounds, bring your amp, play just as loud as you want to. Don't have to turn it down because you're in the kitchen and grandma's next door. You just play like you want to. My job, I record it, and I get it. You kind of get a real sense of what your band is like.
Yeah.
Now that you may not like that.
Yeah. Well, you know, I mean, that's the thing I go back to it is that I think a lot of bands doing their own home recordings, they like the idea of it because they're saving money, but how much of the creative process gets taken away?
I got into business just exactly because of what they're doing. I wanted to do it myself because some codger told me I had to do this, or I had to do that, I couldn't do this, I couldn't do that, and he told me I had to do it a certain way.
Yeah.
And I knew that I was hearing stuff that I loved that wasn't like that. They were putting reverb on the kick drum. You know what I mean? They were doing stuff.
Yeah.
And so I said, I got to learn about this, you know. So I just kind of started doing, you know, home recording with 4 tracks back in the day. We didn't have the digital stuff, you know. You could buy a 4-track and it cost $1,600.
Whoa.
But now it's easier to do the DIY thing, do it yourself. But I still think that a band could utilize a place like me that has like a room that was designed by an acoustic architect where drums sound nicely, pretty much automatically. I usually put the drums over, you know, we've learned over the years that if you put the drums in here and you face them back to that wall and you put them out here, they really thump. Then all you gotta do is when it's time to 1, 2, 3, 4 play, you play. Bring Eric in here, come on.
Bring Eric in here.
This is Shooky right here. Nice hat, right?
Yeah.
He cut his own hair the other night, folks.
What's his hair look like? Oh, look at that! Like a little peach fuzz over here. Yeah.
He's like, he felt bad, you know, like me. I've been bald ever since I was in high school. Eric has to like get up and shave 4 times a night to keep him smothered to death.
That's right.
You know, it's like he's got hair.
Who's
doing your hair these days?
You know, I go to Studio 417 here in town. You know, I love studios. I just can't get away
I get their
from
phone calls all the time.
Let's say a band was going to come in here, they're a Springfield band, they might have got some attention. What advice would you tell them in preparation to come in here?
When you're coming in here, if you're coming into the studio, you're going to lay out some bucks. You know, it's cheap here though. If you're going to lay out some bucks, be tight, well rehearsed, and consistent. Okay. Know your stuff.
Okay.
Don't over rehearse. Get a good night's rest because you're going to come in. It's a pretty intensive process. Don't go out and get bombed the night before. That's rock and roll. But you know, I think guys come in there like, oh, where's your rest of them? I don't do that. You know, that's rock and roll. But be prepared. Freshly tuned grand piano.
Freshly tuned grand
Got
piano.
the Hammond organ. You know, we realize that bands coming in, especially local bands, maybe making that first entry into the studio, that no matter how much we do it, it's pretty important to them. Could be one of the most important things they've ever done musically at that time. You know, you take that lightly, man. You know,
I think every musician in Springfield should come to a studio like this at least once to get the experience. Are you good at playing piano? Can you do that?
I don't play professionally, no.
Can you?
I play a little bit in C.
Do you think you're the best recording person in Springfield to go to?
Think?
What note is that?
I don't know.
What about this one?
I'm not Ned Wilkinson.
Do you feel like you have any sort of music that's a basis, like you record more roots rock stuff because that's what you were familiar with, so you would stay away, like if a metal band came in here, could you handle what a metal band, you know, if they had...
I can do metal, I can do anything.
Okay.
Well, I can do anything.
I can fly, you know.
We can do anything.
Yeah! You can be really loud in here, yeah!
That's right. If you've got a band and you like the way your band sounds and you're tight, well rehearsed and consistent, and you go play a gig and sound good,
yeah,
dude, get in here.
Okay.
You know, we can make it work.
This has been the FourFour show.
You know, you're supposed to be a lot meaner. What,
I know, I'm not.
You're meaner to other people than you are to me.
I am.
Is that because I talk so much and don't give you an opening?
Kind of. All right, well, that's about it. I don't have anything else to say to you fuckers.
Curtis O'Brien.
Yeah, well, you know, time is of the essence, as they say, and our time has come to an end, sadly.
Yeah. I gotta go to the library.
All right, I gotta go somewhere else.
I've got to go take my sister to beat out a rug.
You set them free. Your cage is broken when you clip their wings. You leave it open. Some birds like trying.
But
it's cool to be cool.
It is cool to be cool.